Oh, what's up, everyone? Welcome into the Stuck in the Catch Fence weekly live show. That's right, Joe. I've been practicing my ninja moves.
Ninja.
Joe, have you seen Justin Jefferson anywhere in the Cincinnati area?
I've been looking for him. I have not seen him. I've been down at CVG every day watching the incoming planes.
Yeah.
Boys, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's big talk. People at Kroger are talking. People at Skyline Chili are talking. And yeah, so that's big news. That would be big news for us. I would do this shirtless. Joe would probably do this shirtless, but you're not here for football.
Yeah, I'd do it more than shirtless. This would be a free OnlyFans preview.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that would be fair. Yeah. Well, speaking of the guy that makes the most money on OnlyFans, we got Travis Butt with us as well. Travis, how's your week going, man?
I am out here living the dream. A little tired today. Had to take the old wife to the airport this morning. She's gonna go spend some time with the illegals down at in El Paso, Texas. So she's gonna go have some fun down there, and then
I heard Eagle Pass is a great time of year. I hope she has her ankles taped.
A good looking blonde down there. It probably is fresh meat for the illegals.
Oh man, this is taking a turn.
Yeah, it typically does. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let's get the intro going. Let's get this weekly show underway. All right, so welcome in, everyone. John, welcome in. I guess I'm just going to keep that there. Hi, guys. Hi, John. Hey,
Hi,
John. Noah Gregson looks good. I'll just say that. Noah Gregson looks good. I know that's big on your plate. So we got a decent show today. Not a lot of news, but definitely a lot to talk about. So, Joe, I'm going to actually let you bat lead off because there was news coming out today that after the Olympics, Rick Allen will no longer be the lead play-by-play guy, and you're a IndyCar guy, and Mr. Lee Diffie will be in. Whenever the news came out that the IndyCar play-by-play guy will be taking the reins at NBC, did you have any overall thoughts? Is it a good thing, a bad thing? It sounds like NBC is being turned over on top of its head.
Yeah, I really haven't had time to digest this. I was kind of relatively busy today. I did see a snippet. I believe I saw it on Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it these days. But I think I don't know. My biggest question right now, and I don't think Lee Diffie's going to do a bad job at all. I think IndyCar puts on actually an incredible product. I know for you think it's a boring style of racing. Travis obviously doesn't watch it. I do watch it. I enjoy it. I think it's much more exciting than F1. And by and large, I think the play-by-play in IndyCar is much more exciting. But my question is, what is going on at NBC? Well, that's my question.
Yeah.
Why are we here? So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, now, why are we here in general in life? I don't want to get that deep.
Yeah, because our parole officer said we had to.
Right. Yeah. I just finished up my community service. I know you have several more hours from that trip to Buffalo a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't have got on top of that building. But we did what we did, and now we're here.
You get called Spider-Man at a bar, by God, you got to live up to it.
Right. We were throwing darts. I don't know. You just mistook something.
Yeah, well.
But anyway, nonetheless, you're almost off probation, and I don't know what's going on at NBC.
Well, the one thing I will say is, since the new TV deal's coming out, it sounds like they're doing all kinds of restructuring. So I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I don't think, Dale Earnhardt makes that big of a difference that you would take Rick Allen out. But, Travis, what was your overall thoughts whenever you saw this news?
I'm not shocked if Dale Jr. didn't take Rick Allen with him over to Amazon, if we're going to be honest.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, so
he was just like Will Ferrell and Old School. Who's coming with me?
Bring the boys in. That's what he said. Bring the boys in. I wouldn't be shocked. Anything. So yeah, I just think that he probably took Rick Allen went over with the junior, and I was a little shocked by it. To be honest with you, I thought that NBC had a nice little crew, but like I tell you guys all the time, I just want to watch the race. I thought Lee actually had one of the cooler moments of his little short stint he had there in what was that 2016? Was that the last Olympic? Yeah.
2017.
So yeah, 20, yeah, something like that.
Or
2016,
wait, yeah.
2017. It was
2016, you're right. Yeah.
because yeah, it was every 4 years. Whenever he had I thought he had some cool moments when Rick was over at the Olympics. So I don't have an issue with it. I like the little accent. I think he brings with his accent, he brings some excitement. He actually brings he almost reminds me of the old Fox days when there was some excitement in voices and things like that. So I think Lee's gonna bring that into it. Um, sorry, Rick, we'll miss you. But we'll probably see you next year at Amazon.
I'm going to be very disappointed if I don't get to hear him say Shane Van Gisbergen. I mean, like both Australian,
Shane
like
Van Gisbergen.
yeah, coming down the corner.
Austin.
No, never mind. That was real bad. I'm
It's
sorry. I apologize to the entire country of Australia. I have no idea how to do it.
it's
I
Lawson.
do watch cricket.
Kyle
So,
Lawson.
Lawson. So, do you think that NASCAR fans immediately, once they hear that Australian accent, like, don't like it? Do
No.
you think that's a real possibility?
No,
I don't think it matters. I think it just he brings a cool. I don't think he means to, but I think he brings a cool little excitement, a little different voice to it.
Americans
You know,
love
just like-
Australians.
Yeah,
They just don't like the Australian government. It's
I was just
two
watching
different things.
Dumb and Dumber. I was just watching Dumb and Dumber at the beginning. Whenever he goes, "What accent is that?" Oh, Australia. Shrimp on the barbie. Blah blah blah.
He said Austrian.
Hey, no, that's what they say in the movie because he's.
I know.
Austrian.
She says Austrian. It's
Yeah, and
Austrian.
he goes, oh, yeah, and he goes, oh, shrimp on the barbie.
Jesus. Well, minus or probably like plus 450 to have a Dumb and Dumber reference. It might be a little bit better than that actually on this show, but yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I like Rick Allen. I don't know why he gets so much hate. It will be different though. Like when you're talking about NASCAR voices that you're used to hearing, and a lot of them have that Southern accent. I typically enjoy Adam Alexander a whole lot. I think he does a really, really good job. And, I was just thinking about this today because, Joe and I, we've talked about Fox broadcast before, which I actually think it's improved. I think Kevin Harvick has been really good.
This year.
They still could show mid-pack driving. I think that, they missed a huge opportunity to show Christopher Bell drive from 22nd place to first. And we didn't get to see a whole lot of that. But, I was just thinking today, watching Out of the Groove a little bit, and he was talking about how Mike Joy is 74 years old, and it just like dawned like on me. I'm like, that is amazing for that man to be 74 years. Like, what are I am not going to be working at 74 years old.
I'm not going to be alive.
Yeah, no, probably not, Joe. Like you and me both, Travis, he drinks like 24 Pepsis a day. There's no way. His kidneys like, yo, I'm out. I'm
Travis
done.
will probably live to be 110.
Dude, they'll be trying to crack a kidney stone from Travis to see if there's gold inside of it whenever he drinks.
He'll be like that old person on the news, and they'll be like, "So Travis, can you tell us what's the secret to a long life at 112 years old?" And he'll be eating his pound of bacon, going, "I drink 15 Pepsis a day."
That's right. Have your kidneys calcify so they can never break down.
Hey, I will say I have one thing against Rick Allen, and I don't know if I might be the only person that
Here we
with
go.
this, but I'm not the only one that thinks he asks just dumb questions. Like he asked the most obvious. Well, Junior, do you think that they're gonna pit here? They're running low on fuel. Do you think they're gonna pit right here? Well, no shit, they're gonna pit right here. They're out of fuel. Oh, hey, do you think on with 5 to go, do you think they might beat and bang here? I don't know. What do you think they're gonna do here? Like I just think he asked some just really dumb, obvious answers. And if I was next to him, I would be too big of a smartass to give my opinion.
No, they're gonna run out of fuel, Rick. I haven't noticed that, but There's some people that, I mean, they notice all kinds of different things. Like I would more notice that with Clint Boyer and Clint Boyer's stupidity at times. When I'm watching him, there's just times that, like, you can tell Mike is going to say something really educated, and then Clint Boyer will just completely interrupt him for something that means absolutely. Oh, look at them guys tailgating down there in the center. Damn, that's cool. I was out down there drinking a beer, right, Kevin? And then you can just tell Mike's like, man.
See, like Rick Allen goes, let's go to our Toyota Cutaway car with Steve Letarte. Steve, can you tell us what that wheel does on that car? Can you explain that for me? What's that single lug nut do? What's it do on that car? Well, you see here,
Get body, Rick Allen.
Who's
Well, say that about Lee Diffie. You think he's got a freaking knife? Oh my goodness. Well, I didn't know they were actually going to. For a guy that said I don't really care about the broadcast, he just totally shit on Rick Allen.
There's a reason I don't
last part. So
that's not a knife.
I will say this. I love when NBC does the kind of radio style broadcasts. I just wish they would one day just do a complete swap, and we could have Alex Hayden, Mike Bagley, and all of them on TV, and then have the TV guys on radio. I would love that because MRN does a tremendous job, and it's really fun to listen to them for a race. But moving on, something I don't think I'd ever thought I would say in my entire life on this show. Come on. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson both come to the same conclusion in terms of horsepower. And if you want to listen to a full-on breakdown of horsepower, that was a really big subject this week. We did talk about that on the Phoenix show. But there's two different things, and I want to highlight both of them. I listened to Actions Detrimental with Denny Hamlin, and when they were talking about horsepower, he said we could bring it up to 900 horsepower. All you have to do is make the call. He said there's a piece inside the engine, which a lot of people are aware of this, that actually restricts it. They could take that out. And I think the most important thing is he said, we pay for engines, which he would know. He used that 2311. The bill for them now is no different than whenever they were 900 horsepower. And to me, I thought that was a huge revelation. And then Kyle Larson on Dale Jr. Download, he called in and he was talking about all we have to do is make one simple call. He goes, the car that I won in, Rick Hendrick bought it or has it and is going to put the engine in another car and it will be 1,000 horsepower. Oh, they said they could do it tomorrow, according to Kyle Larson. So again, it sounds like from every source that the only reason why NASCAR hasn't moved to 1,000 horsepower or moved to higher horsepower, let's just put it that way, 1,000, whatever it may be, is because they're scared it'll scare away another manufacturer. I know we've talked about this before, but having two of the biggest stars in the sport talk about it, Travis, has it swayed your opinion on the subject anymore?
I mean, I've said it. We've said this since last year that we needed horsepower and stuff, and they've preached all along. And I think Hamlin made a great point on his show that said, "Listen, you guys keep asking me. I'm not the one that needs to be getting asked about this. Go ask Steve Phelps. Go ask Jim Francis. Go ask some of them guys. Ask them why." He goes, "I've told you why. I said we could have it in a week, ready to go." And I think Larson said, and I will say, I think it's kind of like whenever after Talladega last year with the Priest and Larson wreck, could they have done those changes to those cars in a week? Maybe. I don't see NASCAR saying, hey, start next week, we're going to go up a bunch of horsepower. I don't see that happening. I could see maybe like some of the May races. We might see the May race, I think. But April is Martinsville race. We could maybe see it there. I wouldn't be shocked if they come out at North Wilkesboro with possibly. I know they're testing right now, but
to me, that's the only chance it has this year.
I see it. I could see them going, be like, hey, we'll try it. We'll listen to you guys. We're going to go a high grippy track, tire wear. We'll give you horsepower. We'll give you what you want. The only thing I have against horsepower, and I don't, because it's going to take that dispersion like Junior talked about. Everyone's within 2/10, and that dispersion is going to be bigger. It's going to spread out the field, but I fully agree we're going to see I think we're going to see a better product. I'm not a big fan of the crunched up people. Like I don't mind them spreading out a little bit. I just want to see some passing. That's the only thing I don't. I don't want them to go all single file, but I do. I don't mind them spreading out a little bit because people can still pass and things like that. So
Yeah,
give me the horsepower.
I think having said that, Travis, correct me if I'm wrong, and you probably understand this better than I do. But even if that does widen the gap and maybe causes some single file racing, that makes mistakes so much more important, right? Because then you're able to capitalize on those mistakes.
Yep.
So it really, it in my opinion, would really bring the driver more into the race and put more on them with keeping their line and not sliding up the track or whatever that may be, because their mistakes that they make are going to be compounded. Is that a good assessment, do you think?
Yeah, and I think that's you hit it right on the head. They've talked about that where if they make a mistake, all they got to do is downshift. All they got to do is do stuff like that. Where the high horsepower, if you make a mistake, you're going to lose some momentum. There's also other factors come in, like how good are you on the gas pedal? There's no wheel spin. I think of dirt track. So all these carburetors, you could do a 2-barrel or a 4-barrel. So on a four barrel, it's going to give you more horsepower. But when that track slickens up, you could put a little spacer in there, or you could have it go back to a 2-barrel where it's not going to give you as much horsepower. So there's less wheel spin. So I think the drivers are all saying, hey, it's not that we want to go faster. We just want to be able to have some wheel spin, tire wear, have chances of passing where
Right.
there's no wheel spin. There's nothing. It's like a burnout. When you see people do burnouts, tires go everywhere. They destroy. And they're saying that it's not happening. So you make passes, like you said, from mistakes. You make passes from fall off. And you also make passes from just in general of the ebb and flow of a race. There's just no fall off. All the cars are so equal that, it's like, I don't know. It's like if you took your car out here and every car has a max speed of 110 miles an hour, So, but if you started a little ahead of me and we both floored it, guess what? We're both still going to be this far apart because they both only go 110 miles an hour. So what they're saying is, hey, give us 750 horsepower. That way we have some control behind the wheel rather than just no control, and whoever sets the best car up or gets a better pit stop or things like that, make a difference here.
Well, I think another thing too that was shown to the light is that they talk about how they only use these engines twice. Like that's it. So I don't understand why you couldn't have just a short track 1,900, whatever the number may be, horsepower engine. If you're only going to use it twice and then say, all right, now we're going to take parts of the components off of this and use it for another rate, or, tear it apart. We're not going to use this full barrel anymore. Like that to me doesn't make a lot of sense when you could say, okay, we're worried about finances. The main difference in this is we're actually adding a part to restrict horsepower. So let's just use their short tracks. They'll be the ones that are 900 horsepower, 800 horsepower, wherever it may be. And then we'll just use everything else, all the other regular packages. I mean, there's got to be a point to where it's not that much cost difference, because you're talking about removing diffusers, you're adding different spoilers, you're adding different rail, like you're doing all these other things that cost money. So it doesn't make that much difference. And if Denny Hamlin is saying, because this guy knows that it's the same bill, then I don't understand why they're not willing to do it. And I just firmly don't believe Honda out of all. If it was like somebody that wasn't in racing, I could understand it. Honda's in racing. Honda knows what it costs to pay bills. Honda's in Formula One, for God's sakes. One Formula One car costs more than an entire garage in NASCAR when it comes to the aerodynamics and the shit that they have to do to be competitive in that. Like Haas puts $500 million in their Formula One team every year, and they're ranked like, I think, 8th overall when it comes to the money spent. So I just don't believe Honda's like, yeah, man, we just don't want to foot the bill when it comes to, 800 horsepower. So it just is confusing to me on that point. And then on the other side of it, you talk about the tire, and I think that's another thing too is, listen to Kyle Busch talk about the tire. There was supposed to be a new tire compound at Phoenix. I think they had 0.8 after 40 laps of a fall off. And Kyle Busch just talked about where the rubber doesn't come off the tire anymore. it just gets hot. And if the tire gets hot, the drivers have to slow down for the tire to then cool off. But it never, ever, wears down. It just changes temperature down. It's like a rock, essentially. So I think there's two different things that they could be working on, especially, we know tire wear. Like when you get bad tire wear, I mean, it completely changes things too. But to your guys' point, when it comes to higher horsepower, that's going to limit tire wear. When you're burning it and you're sending it at an angle because you have more power to drive in, it's going to change your tire wear on top of it. So, when the two biggest, stars, two of the bigger stars, to me, Denny Hamlin, and I've thought about this for a while, like, he's probably the face of NASCAR when it comes to the voice. Like, I mean, this guy talks about everything. He's on top of it. He's entertaining when he talks about it. And then you got Kyle Larson, who typically, I wouldn't say goes out of his way to say anything bad about NASCAR. He's a dirt driver. If dirt paid to drive as much as NASCAR did, he would do that. He would not be in NASCAR. Firmly believe that he would be a sprint car driver versus a NASCAR driver, but NASCAR pays the bills. It just speaks volumes that, they're listening to everybody that doesn't actually be involved in this sport. When you're listening to something that's not even in this sport, it makes a lot of sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And, Denny did say this, NASCAR typically listens to every single thing when it comes to criticism to try to overcorrect it, except this. and the last thing I'll say on this topic, when Joe and Travis, you mentioned this, and maybe we can get into a little bit of this. If we had we're NASCAR fans, like, we're going to understand that a guy's going to dominate. That's just all there is to it. When Dale Earnhardt was dominating, Jeff Gordon was dominating, the sport was at its most popular. If we have higher horsepower and a guy just has it that day, that's part of it. But if we get to see exponentially better racing through the pack, and you actually know people can move through the pack, I would sacrifice that for a better overall racing product. Like Kevin Harvick, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, they've all found a way to just make really boring races by dominating. But if the overall racing is better, in my opinion, you asked this on Sunday, Travis, what makes a good race? It's actually being able to see people race and not aero blocking. I never want to hear that term ever again, unless we're at a super speedway. So I know you wanted to have a talk, Travis.
No, I just think that it kind of just goes back to what, I'm just going to reiterate what you said. It's just a matter of, NASCAR, the drivers are saying, hey, we'll take the responsibility of being wrong here, but like, listen to us here. That's all we want. Listen to us. We just want to be told, like, hey, let's have it. If we're wrong, we'll say, NASCAR, you're right. Like, going to high horsepower was not the fix. Like, this is the only thing that you have not done. You've done tires, you've done a new diffuser, you've done a new splitter, put a new spoiler on it. The only thing you have not tried is horsepower, and that's the only thing that we said you needed.
Mm-hmm.
Let us say we're wrong. Just let us give high horsepower. I would not be shocked by, in the next 2 weeks, if NASCAR doesn't announce that at North Wilkesboro that they're going to have a high horsepower package there.
Joe, when it comes to the higher horsepower, I mean, would you be willing to get, like, do you agree, like, you would give up maybe not a battle for a lead, but better overall driving, or is that something that
no, 100? No, I am right on par with what you said, and honestly, I think, especially when it comes to short tracks, there's potential at any track you go to for a driver to be dominant. However, I think when you talk about short tracks and more horsepower, I mean, we see when you go and watch dirt racing, you see drivers that are dominant all the time, but you also see a little mistake that costs them the race a lot of times too. If they get too high up in the cushion or whatever that may be, and Travis is better at speaking on that than I am. But at the end of the day, I think when you put that pressure on the driver to have to drive a flawless race in order to keep the lead, and adding more horsepower to the vehicle and making it a little bit harder to control, while also giving them the ability to make a pass and not race like it's a super speedway like we saw this past weekend, I think at Phoenix, I think that I would be willing to sacrifice that if Denny Hamlin or Kyle Larson or Martin Truex, whoever it is, goes to Phoenix and they're just dominant like we saw this weekend. Then that is what it is. That's going to happen in NASCAR. That's going to happen in any form of racing. That happens the last 21 out of 23 races in F1, and nobody seems to have a problem with that. So I think we understand that, and I'm willing to sacrifice that because I actually think it's going to cause less domination by drivers just on the sheer fact that it brings one more element into the race. I will say, and we don't have to hit on this too much, and you've made the comment a couple times now, Ryan, about not doing this because other manufacturers. I don't understand the idea of saying we're not going to give them more horsepower just because we're trying to recruit Honda to come into NASCAR. Why can't Honda put a 900 or 1,000 horsepower engine in their car for 4 or 5 races a season? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
And I really hope that is not. I mean, I think we all can agree that that's probably why it's happening, but I really hope that we are not right in assuming that is why NASCAR won't introduce a higher horsepower package. So
I just think that NASCAR
is that your
comes
Pepsi?
down. Do what?
Did you drop your Pepsi?
No,
Did I drop it?
it's upstairs at my house. Maybe one of my kids just landed on their heads. Who knows?
Just get a Pepsi. It'll heal you.
Yeah.
But I think NASCAR is known for speed, and that's what they're going to be known for. Like when they say, 200 mile an hour this, 200 mile an hour that, they don't say 180 mile an hour. They don't say 170 mile an hour. They're saying, 200 mile an hour this, 200 mile an hour that. When is the last time we physically saw a car go 200 mile an hour? Like, yeah, you get some drafting and things like that. Yeah, Michigan.
I think I was going to say Michigan's the only one I think they even get remotely close to, and
Daytona, you could I've seen I've seen 198, 199, but Michigan might be one of the few. But it's I don't know. It's just my opinion.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Well, it's a tough talk because I think we're all in consensus that we want something to change, but the only ones that don't are the ones that actually have that power. So, we shall see. But now let's have a little bit of fun. It's time to play Rolling Off the Grid.
That is freaking disturbing.
All right. It's a picture of my sister. I had her she wanted to be a part of the show, and I said, hey, ride that tricycle in here. So, Chelsea, if you're listening, who is holding you hostage? So, we have the season standings. I scored as many points as Joe did last week, 0. Joe, you actually got 6 points on a driver. Do you want to guess who you actually got 2 spots off from where they actually finished?
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Daniel
what my
Hemrick.
Oh, did I say 30th for him?
I can't remember what it was. I think you said 28th and he finished 26th, or I could have that backwards. So Daniel Hemrick put you on the board. Nice job.
Thanks.
And then we had 1 spot off for Travis, and it was Chase Briscoe. He said he would finish 8th, and he finished 9th. So, if you are
making a comeback, boys,
that's right.
A comeback.
It's actually really easy to do it on this game because this game is pretty damn tough. So, I'm going to share my screen with you guys so you guys can see it as well. If you want to play at home, go for it. We would love to hear what your guesses are as well. That's what makes this fun. Maybe.
Right.
Hey. What's going on? Oh, my God. Watch the State of the Union, and now it doesn't want to play. There we go.
They banned it like TikTok.
Jesus.
Wait, who's going first here?
You are. You're on the poll.
All right.
And then me, and then Joe. All right.
Give me Cody Ware.
Are you part of the Chinese Communist Party? Senator, I'm Singaporean.
Give me someone
How about a silver spoon?
my God.
37th.
Give me
No DNF.
give me 12.
baby.
Oh, wow.
Woo! Damn.
Wow.
Yep. Closet Austin Dillon fan. I think honestly, Joe, he's so excited to see Ty Dillon in the truck race that he's becoming a
Oh,
Dillon
God.
supporter all the way around.
He's
I
gonna get
think
two
so.
number one. I'm gonna tell him he's 2 number ones every time he goes around.
All right. Sweet. Great. Wonderful.
Look on his biggest fan.
John Hunter Nemechek for me. It's a pretty tough track. Give me 30th.
Wow.
Whoa!
Yeah.
He'll never be
Yeah.
on the show.
Oh,
Yeah. The rookies usually don't do great at Bristol. Besides Ty Gibbs last year.
I think he's gonna get Denny Hamlin here.
We got guesses in the chat. Uh-oh.
I can't see that yet.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's the golden boy, Chase Elliott.
Oh, man. So let's see. What is it? Is it 3 spots down, 3 or 2?
No, it's 5
down,
up or
2.
down. It's 5 up or down.
Okay. Give me 7.
And we still got 0 points.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks because it's still pretty freaking hard. All right, 7th for Chase, aka Golden Boy. All right, back to Travis. Uh-oh. Oh, is he gonna get Chase back-to-back weeks?
Oh, back to back. Did we just
Man.
give me?
And this
Give me
wouldn't.
9.
I was going to say, this might be a place you just take him right back where you did last time.
Okay, well, it's gonna go back.
All right. I get the cruddiest ones, man. Oh, God. Oh, I got to redo it. Thank the Lord.
Oh, you got lucky.
Yeah, I did not want that. It's going to get worse. Go up one. Oh, no. Oh, I like Todd Gilliland, too. I like Todd Gilliland. I think they're going to have speed. I'm going to say 18th. I'm going to say 18th.
I think they're going to do great. 18th.
I think that's good for him. Dude, I think his teammate, we're going to talk,
23rd.
watch the betting show because his teammate, I really like as well. So, shameless plug. All right, Joe. See who you get. No
Is he
way.
gonna get him again?
Why
That's
is
3. Is that 3?
What is going on? I'm about to remove him.
That's
I'm
3.
about to remove him. This is how you know it's random. But if I remove him, I have to put him back in, and I'm lazy. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Hamster.
Oh, 5th.
That's a good pick. Good choice. That's some leeway.
All right,
Good
here we
boy.
go. Pat
Last
on that.
one.
Oh, back-to-back weeks with Hemrick.
Oh, God.
Joe's favorite driver after last week.
Yeah.
24th.
24th. My last one. I feel like we're staying on the same side of the wheel here. Ooh, this is the one I wanted too. Heck yeah. Go ahead and stamp it, boys. Winner.
What?
Winner. Christopher
Whoa.
Buescher, winner.
You're not
I
gonna
should
say
get
5,
20
you get
points
a
if I
point?
get that right.
I'll give you whatever you want.
Mathematically, it makes no sense. Calling my shot, winner. Joe,
Whoa.
your last one.
Wow.
Yeah, you moved up just 1, too.
I did last week.
Yeah, you guys switched on a couple there. Traded Daniel Hemrick for Josh Berry.
Man, 25th.
That's generous. He's been terrible.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming? So there you go, guys. If you want to play the game, you can do it as well. I'm going to shuffle it next week, see if that changes anything. It may not. I have no idea. So, all right. Hey, Zach, way to be on time since I sent you an opportunity to chat, and you're now here at the end. So, thanks, bud.
Yeah. Good job, Zach.
Oh, Dude, he is your look crispy. Get your hair
Yeah.
did.
Joe,
I
we said it earlier how good your camera looked, and then you literally like immediately got off and we're like, well,
Yeah.
it's my computer. Actually, my camera is like getting behind, so like I'll talk
You
and
look
then
perfect, Wes.
yeah. Well, Zach, I got thanks to Elon Musk, I have reasonable internet now in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where that was going.
Yeah, Elon Musk is my savior, my download savior is what I'll call him.
I was
Or,
actually the producer for the new show that was going to happen today, but Elon Musk fired both of us today.
Yeah.
So
rip.
it is what it is, you know. Corey Hunter, it's about time we had some of the butt posse. Is that what we're calling that? Yeah, might as well. Have you guys done picks yet? We have played the game. I tried as hard as I could.
we got the butt posse and the Peter pack.
Yeah.
All on this show.
Yeah, that's right. And if you can't handle it, that's your problem. After as disappointing as we were on the package last week, geez, oh Pete.
Yeah, that package
No,
was terrible.
We're doing the Bristol preview right now, sir. So jump right in for the most expensive video that it take me to make. Yeah, I'm sorry. And we do have a segment at the end of the show, and it's only for Joe. So Travis, sorry. Let's see. We got another. How do I apply? Well, you actually have to be here on time, asshole. So no.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and look at the points. Ryan, myself, got a win. Put an asterisk by it, baby. Got a win. So I'm up to 13. Joe, pretty rough week last week. I think he scored 2 points. Maybe 1 point. I think it was 1 point, actually.
I think it was.
And then Travis had a rough week as well. He had 3 points. He had Ryan Blaney and somebody else. I think Martin Trix, maybe? I can't remember.
Truex. Yeah.
Yeah. And Joe had Ty Gibbs, right?
Yeah.
So you did have 2 points. So there you go. If you want to play along with us on this game as well, you can. So before we actually show our picks, let's go ahead and do a Bristol preview. It's the first time in 3 years now that we haven't had it. We haven't had concrete CPR class boring. What you do with your wife, we don't want to know. Yeah. So anyway, it's the first time in 3 years we haven't had the dirt. We're going. Let's just go ahead and say that we're all going. So excited for that. We'll have some, shorts and videos out if you actually show the shorts, you two. And
I'll be in my shorts.
No, dude, it's going to be kind of chilling, man. It's like high of like 50. That's
no. I think Saturday it's supposed to be 62. Sunday,
I'm actually excited to see Joe shirtless. That's actually what I'm actually excited about. He's gonna have a shave. He's gonna have a shave number 5 on his shirt.
I am. Actually, I'm painting my chest. I'll have Hendrick cars on the top of my chest, and then a number 5, and then I actually wear a Speedo to the race. I know that this is the first time you see me at a race. The last time Ryan and I actually went to a race together, he was trying to walk. Yeah, and he was trying to walk like 60 feet from me. And I kept saying, Ryan, get over here. And he's like, I don't know that guy. And then
F off, loser.
Yeah. And then
I don't have no money.
We were standing. I had my package of beer and Ryan had his package of beer out. And some guy walked up and was like, hey, is that my beer? And Ryan was like,
yeah.
No, it's not.
Each other your package,
dude. We literally, Joe, with the free alcohol they were giving away at Atlanta, we could have got like just shit faced right before the race even started off. Like, yeah, I want to try some of the spiked stuff again.
Right.
Parker Kligerman sent me.
Unfortunately, I had my children with me, and I had a funny story. I went to a football game a couple years ago, and Kansas City, which is a shithole of a city. Anybody that lives there,
yeah.
Take that,
Kansas City, Missouri. That doesn't make sense.
I was there with several people, so my children were well taken care of, or actually, my son was well taken care of. But I'm walking into Burrowhead Stadium that year, And as I'm walking in, of course, my son's walking in. He's got on a Bengals plastic helmet, and somebody's like, "That's the way. That's the way to raise your kids, right?" And I was like, "That's great because I'm drunk as shit right now. Let's go."
Yeah, that kid is being. Oh, that's mine.
Yeah. I wasn't the only one taking care of him. All you people that are like, "Oh my god, he was drunk in front of his kids."
Yeah, he could have took him this year and got frostbite. So, but he didn't.
I did.
So.
Actually, I went that year too, but whatever.
Well, I've been doing the rain dance, hoping that it keeps the rain away. The dance that prevents the rain from coming. Normally, that's a big deal. It's traditionally known as the Monday Bristol race.
Right.
Everything looks okay so far. But the last time we've seen this was 3 years ago. It seems like we got 2 lanes, really, really low, really, really high. Travis, do you have anything that you're looking forward to here at the Spring Concrete Bristol race?
Rip the fence, baby. That's what we're here for. No, I think they're putting some traction compound down, and I expect something good. I do like Bristol. A lot of people didn't like the reconfiguration. I love it. I like it way more now than I did when I was there in 05. So I'm excited. I think I like it that they can rip the fence and you can throw some sliders, and I expect 2 lanes as always. I think the second group doesn't come in until about like the 200, 250 lap mark. So I expect it to be in, and we'll see what happens.
What are you looking forward to, Joe?
Well, really, what I know we're going to give our picks, and I always like to caveat this because it's pre-qualifying, right? And I think one thing that is really forgotten at Bristol a lot of times is where your pit stall is going to be at, and that is kind of crucial because you have a pit row on the front straight and on the back straight, right? And really, teams are really looking for the good pit stalls on either side of that. So you'll actually see when pit assignments get dished out that that teams will pick. They have their pick from either side, and you'll actually see both sides start to fill up from front to back, basically, instead of that side on or the front stretch side. So I always think it's kind of curious how pit row fills up there. But I'm going to look for what I always look for at any short track, and whether it's on pavement or dirt, I always get behind the dirt track guys on these type of tracks. So
I just hope we have tempers flaring. I miss it so much. I mean, we posted 2 shorts, and the YouTube algorithm wasn't very kind, especially today with the Tony Stewart versus Matt Kenseth helmet throw.
We need Susie Wingwang back.
Yeah. So no, we don't. No. So, I hope that's what we see. That's really what made Bristol what it is people being pissed off at all times. And, that's what makes short track racing the best is, high upset tempers. And, and I hope that's what we get. And I'm sure based upon what I've seen out of my guy, Kyle Busch, that I'll probably have an upset temper. But let's delay it no longer. Let's show the picks. Right now, we have Travis decided to go all blue. So if you have a blue car this weekend, Travis probably picked you. He went with Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Carson Hocevar. And to be fair, Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch typically don't drive a blue car. So just awkward enough that they did this week. Joe went with Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, and Noah Gragson, which that Noah Gragson car looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Denny Hamlin. I only chose AJ Allmendinger because I think that might be the best paint scheme all weekend. Christopher Bell, and then I went different from you guys. My boy that I picked to win, Chris Buescher, and Michael McDowell. A lot of these guys, really what you see is people that were really good at the end of the year. And I believe, Ty Gibbs got a top 10 here, so that makes a lot of sense. A lot of these guys were competing for the championship last year, and that's really, kind of where you see where our picks went. So it makes a lot of sense. Is there anything, from your group, Travis, that you specifically want to hit on when it comes to your pick?
No, I just see that's probably the most diverse we've been. Usually we're all kind of a little close.
I was off. I was a little bit different than you guys last week. That's why I had a
yeah.
Hit again.
Yeah, Yeah, but Hamlin's been good there. Ty got his first top 5 last year. Larson's always good there. Bush is always good there. And I just think Carson's gonna adapt. If last year he ran he should have got a top 10, but he faded at the end. I think he finished 12th. So he's been good in Aspire cars. So I kind of took my approach of choosing someone outside the top 20, and that's who I went with. I think he's saying, why did no one choose the 9 car? So I was actually a little shocked that
Yeah,
wasn't
John gave
more
his
interest
picks.
from.
He gave Keselowski, Larson, Gragson, Gibbs, and Chase.
Yep.
Ellipses, Elliott.
Yeah, so I think I kind of based mine off of how previously they ran, and obviously I went a little bit more of a Toyota heavy for the sake of how they ran last week.
Joe, is there anybody from your picks that you want to talk about?
No, I'm really kind of curious to see how Gregson does this weekend. I really still am expecting big things out of him. We'll see how he does. I think my other guys are, I picked them for obvious reasons and their obvious dirt background. So I always like those guys on the short tracks. I mean, that's going to be my go-to every time, whether I'm putting money down or giving picks for the show.
Yeah. And I think, not getting much love, and we'll talk about this on the betting show that'll come out Friday. I think that Christopher Buescher and Michael McDowell, they've traditionally been really solid here. I mean, Christopher Buescher won here when he wasn't expected at all to win here. So now that RFK has come where they've been, they had a really good running last week. I have a lot of high expectations for Chris Buescher, and Michael McDowell's still showing speed. He got 10th place or in a top 10 last week, qualified top 10. Hell, that Ford has been driving better than all of Ryan Blaney's teammates when it comes to speed. Asa Cindric looks like dog crap. Joey Logano's 30th in points, and so those are two guys that I really have my eyes on, and I think if you want to throw some cash down, you got a really good chance. Zach said, that's what I'm talking about, Joe, or saying
right.
Joe.
Yeah.
Hashtag Team Gregson.
That's right. I mean, I'm not buying the T-shirt yet, but we're pretty close to it.
Yeah. I did go to Cabela's and got a nice shirt, which is owned by Bass Pro.
Yeah, and
So
paid
I
$375 for a T-shirt.
No, dude, it was redhead. It's $12. It's a steal. It was a steal. My Whopper Plopper cost more than the damn shirt, man. Go ahead.
The what?
A Whopper Plop. You never heard of a Whopper Plopper? It's a lure, man. They made them. I guess they make them out of gold, dude. They're like, hey, look at my face. I've already shown how many bass I can catch. I don't need this hate.
Yeah, great video, by the way.
Not the last video. Don't. That's not the one. The bait, the Whopper Plopper I use is bigger than that fish. Don't look at that one. Whatever, Travis. Just keep your.
Thank you. I think you got to use a top water plug pre-spawn, don't you?
You want to hit top water at spawn because
okay.
They get hungry. Do you know anyone selling any solar panels? Is this a plug? What is this?
What?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, I have them for $99.99.
Yeah. Yeah. So does my neighbor when I rip him off his house. Privileged info butt bunch. I don't like butt bunch.
I'm good with it.
I'm sure. For other reasons. Well, we've waited long enough. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. This is a segment dedicated to our one and only.
I gotta
our
get this
best
right.
friend.
I gotta get this right.
Yes, he's been crunching numbers. He's been looking at things all week. Where's JJ, Joe?
Got him by 1,000th of a second. He's in front of William.
In the wall goes JJ Ailey.
Oh man.
He's not racing.
Where is JJ, Joe?
He's not racing.
He's not racing.
He's at home this week.
There you have it. That's where JJ is.
Got him by 1,000th of a second. He's in front of William.
In the wall goes J.J. Yaley.
Oh, man.
He's never
Thank
going
you,
to be
Joe.
on this show
We do
now.
appreciate that.
He's never going to be on this show now.
That's the most
God.
love that son of a bitch has gotten on any show ever.
What you
What
call
are
him,
you
son of a
talking-
bitch?
We have
He's a
segment
great
for him.
guy. He's a
He
great
is
guy.
a great guy. That's why the very first thing, he outqualified William Byron, for God's sakes. What do you mean he's not going to be on the show? What am I supposed to find him in Victory Lane? Shit. I'll find Where's Waldo better. Jesus Christ. Funny story. I got in trouble once for...
Did you know it was his hauler? He is not an arrogant jerk. You pissed on it. You pissed on his hauler.
That guy's an
That's like,
asshole.
I'm a nice guy too, but if you piss on my
Yeah.
car, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, dude, what the hell you doing?"
Yeah. That guy's a dick. I fucking kicked his dog. He got all upset about it.
I took a shit on his doorstep and he got pissed.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one, Shane.
I don't think JJ's going on Shane's show. How about that? We've never pissed on JJ's holler. What? He's an arrogant jerk.
How dare he get pissed off at me for pissing on his freaking hauler?
Shane, get him on the show.
Yeah,
Get him on the show, Shane.
Yeah. You obviously have a close connection. There's no way he won't pick up the phone for you.
I just bumped
Dear
into
God.
him one time and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, JJ Yelly."
Yeah.
He was like, "You know who I am?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "So you're the one."
Yeah. I nut tapped him one time walking into my hauler, and he got real pissed off about it. I don't know.
I called his wife ugly once and he got
Guy's a prick. Anyway, JJ, if you want to find us, you can find us on Facebook. If you want to donate to the cause so we can get you a better Where's Waldo looking drop there, you can at Patreon. And we're also on Rumble as well. Well, guys, we're going to be at Bristol, so there will not be a post-race show. Otherwise, it'd be very dark in the back of Travis Reitzman's van, and I don't think he would appreciate that for 4 hours long. And Joe will be slapping his son if he's not paying attention to the road while he's driving back as well. Because he deserved it, not because
I don't know.
Joe's a
I'm
mean guy.
probably gonna stay Sunday night. You can't get out of them campgrounds for like 4 or 5 hours until after the race.
Don't mess with Jack Yaley. All right, I'll make note of that. Well, that is going to do it for us. Thank you guys for tuning in, and remember, do not piss on JJ Yaley's trailer.